You guys ready for this? He served as the 44th and one of the best governors Arkansas has ever had. And I'll tell you why, one of the reasons I'm so impressed by Mike Huckabee, he turned adversity into something really positive. He was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes back in 2003, and he wasn't going to take that diagnosis lying down. He lost 110 pounds. Barely 2 years later, he's completed 4 marathons. He is the former chairman of the National Governors Association. He and his wife, Janet, have 3 great kids. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the former Arkansas governor and presidential candidate, Mike Huckabee.
Please join me and Governor Beasley from South Carolina in welcoming the governor from Hope, Arkansas that's not going to marry Hillary Clinton. He's going to beat Hillary Clinton.
Thank you. Thank you very much. What an incredible day this is. And I want to say thanks to every one of you, especially you people who have traveled from all over the country to help us to convince the people of Iowa that they do have a choice. And that choice is to give America back to the people on Main Street, not just to the people on Wall Street. We can do that, and we're going to start it right here in Iowa today. Sometimes I know that a Republican in my state feels about as out of place as Michael Vick at the Westminster Dog Show. And it is really good to be in the presence of this many people who are willing to stand up for Republican and conservative values and people. And I realize that many of you have come for many candidates. A lot of candidates have worked their hearts out to be here. And some of us have given everything we can to convince you to give us a chance to be your president. Let me make it very clear today. I'm not the best funded candidate in America. I can't buy you. I don't have the money. I got another thing. I can't even rent you. But today, the straw poll is a day that can change all of that, because the straw poll is not about electing a straw man. It's giving the voters of Iowa a chance to prove that they are mature voters, thoughtful and savvy about the process. And the fact is, these are voters here who understand that they're buying the cereal, not just the box. And that's why today we're here to talk about the reasons that our country should not be pessimistic about its future, but optimistic about its future. Jesus once cursed a fig tree because it advertised with its leaves that it had fruit, but there was no fruit. And the curse was because of the false advertising. Last year, Republicans lost a lot of elections because they had the leaves of republicanism, but not the fruit. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time that we as a party get back to those principles that gave us the majority. And that's why I'm optimistic. I know where I've come from. It's been an uphill battle, not just politically. My whole life has been an uphill battle. I understand what struggle means. Born into a family where I was the first male in my entire family lineage to ever graduate high school. A father who worked 2 jobs just to be able to pay the rent on the little rent house we lived in Hope, Arkansas. You know, I got to tell you, I like the mountaintop, but I've spent a lot more of my life in the valley. But that's all right, because the soil is awfully fertile in the valley, and that's where we grow. And many of you in this arena today, you know life in the valley. You know life as struggle. I'm asking you to join me today in helping us to take America back so we can take it forward. And I want you to realize that when people ask, why am I optimistic? Why could I not be? I live in the greatest country on earth. And its greatness is not because of its government. Its greatness is because of wonderful people who believe in God and in family and in the future of our children, and who believe that the greatest gift we can give to the next generation is to sacrifice for them rather than sacrifice them for ourselves. We need to take this campaign to the people of America about the things that matter to them. We need to change our tax system, and not with a tap of the hammer, touch of the screwdriver, a little piece of duct tape. We need to completely rid ourselves of the current tax and penalty on productivity, and instead go to a simple consumption tax, the fair tax, that is so simple that a 7-year-old running a lemonade stand knows how to operate it. The fair tax gives every American a chance to reach the next rung on the ladder. And it doesn't penalize those for working harder, or for saving, or for investing, or for taking a risk. And we need to make sure that we've got secure borders in this country, not because we are angry at immigrants, because we're not. We appreciate the fact that we live in a country people are trying to break into, not a country they're trying to break out of. But we want to make sure that when people do come, that it's at least as hard to get into this country through an international border as it is for you to get on an airplane in your own hometown, that you have to have documentation and prove who you are. That's not unreasonable, and that's what we ought to ask of anybody crossing the borders. And when our government says, we don't know what to do with all the people who are here, we can't find them. Folks, if you order something on the internet and it's shipped FedEx or UPS, they can keep up with it from the time it leaves the warehouse until the time it reaches your doorstep. If we have an incompetent government that can't do it, then we'll turn it over to FedEx and UPS, and they'll be able to find it.